also repurpose as well. You can also repurpose.
Even though we own it and we could sell it for more.
The time now is 1:07 on Wednesday.
We will burn your governor's mansion.
5th
After we
of
own
January.
it,
Well, you're talking about the governor's mansions.
Yeah,
oh,
we'll
yes.
burn your governor's mansion down to the ground after we seize it. We're not going to burn your court building because we need all those fucking rooms in order to prosecute you after we seize the building. We're going to need all those buildings. We're going to have to reseat everything.
Right, so see what you just said there, Corporal? You see, you have to have people that are willing to go inside the building, and it's not for the purpose of, please give me my friend back.
CJ out of the building after he goes in there to file whatever he's filing and see what the fuck happens to you motherfuckers. See what the fuck happens when you try and arrest him, too. That's not going to be good.
If it puts me into the jail cell with cash and I have to appear via live StreamYard like this,
they'll have less sheriff deputies at the front door, and they won't be letting people in and out of the courthouse anymore. That's for sure after that day.
Right. So again, I intend on going there to file exactly what we've been discussing here, Frank, and consider it this last fucking straw. This is the last fucking straw. We are going to make a public demand for the release of Grayson Cash Jackson from the Logan County Jail. And that a sign of extradition is a sign of complicity to the treason and sedition we've been accusing everybody of. And if you don't want to be accused of treason and sedition, do not let us catch you committing treason and sedition, because we will report it, we will document it, and we will form the posse to take you out. That's a fact. It's a constitutional oath, and it's a title individually earned as United States.
Every time we know where you are at a fucking political rally. Hey, is this guy Asa planning to run for fucking governor again in the race here in 2022? Because we'll be at every political rally with
you're gonna love this.
Oh, they got as much out of him as they could.
Hang on. Yeah. He's a Governor Dennis Dugard. He's gonna try to get out before he can be culpable. But here's the front runner in Arkansas. It's Sarah Huckabee Sanders. It's Sarah Huckabee Sanders. She will be the next governor of Arkansas.
A rhino Decepticon. Rhino Decepticon.
All right,
that's what I'm saying.
So right now, the only eyes that we have had down in that area, I know Jake has been there, CJ has been there, and I've been there. We don't necessarily have good recon right now. We know that people...
What do you think I'm going there for, Frank?
Okay, I know this, CJ. I hear this, CJ.
I've already done my recon, though, Frank. I've walked that town square. I've gone into those businesses. I've said my hellos. I've ate at the restaurants. I've talked to local businesses, and they all know Cash Jackson. So when I walk into all these businesses again and they say, hey, where's that nice guy that you had with you last time? And I explain to them what's going on, I am doing my reconnaissance. I am doing the building of the network that we've already started. And I am capitalizing on all the relationships Cash has been building down there. And then when it comes time for me to need the protection to go into their government building, I'm going to have it because of the network we have all built together. Now, at the end of the day, Frank, I want this to be peacefully resolved. I want there to be a way for us to redress our grievances and hold those accountable that need to be held accountable. But I think the line in the sand, Frank, has been clear for a long time, and I am not opposed to Corporal Major's plan being Plan B. Makes sense?
Okay, there we go. Okay, so that actually puts a smile on my face right there, because now I hear a Plan A and a Plan B. Now, and I like that. Now, Plan A, I think, should also facilitate zip ties and handcuffs with indisputable documentation to arrest these public officials. I'm getting at that point first. Now we have a point, Plan A, Plan B.
Stalk these people until we get them.
Right, and we have to know where they are. Are they working from home, or are they actually in a government building right now? Is the person that we want there?
No, what you're wanting us to do is to tell you if we know the location of any given individual, and the truth is we don't. But the point is not that point. The point is that we are going to force every one of these people and their bad actors into a courtroom, and then they have to appear. They have to show up. They cannot hide.
You let's make this clear right now. We're on the same team building the network to expose the tyrants.
I'm just in the end game and you're still in the planning phase. That's the difference.
No, that's incorrect.
All right, well, I'm on end game phase.
You guys are misrepresenting this. See, CJ's a moderate and he's still trying to interface with the system. I'm an extremist. I believe that we should go there and we should physically take what we want with enough power and then let them reel after we did whatever we did. Sorry, we wiped out all of your jackboots. We went through your courthouse and we fucking seized whoever we wanted.
Corporal, with all due respect, I am not a moderate, all right? I am an extremist. I would be considered a domestic terrorist by this government. I have been thwarted at public attempts to run for office. My own kid has been withheld from me. I am of the extremist mindset. I am of the extremist mindset, as in I will deliver you your last fucking opportunity before I read you your last will and rights and testament. Yes. That's it. I am there to serve a function, and that function is to see the death of tyrants. When I wear this hoodie here, it says death to tyrants, all right? It doesn't say make friends with tyrants. It doesn't say give tyrants a chance. It says death to tyrants. And so if you're a tyrant that has been identified unanimously by a veteran network, then I am here to advocate for your death, nothing more and nothing less. It is your responsibility to advocate for your life. And that's the difference. I am of no difference to watching a tyrant die. I have seen enough of my brothers and sisters die at the hands of your fucking state, and you're wanting to play nice with it, that at the end of the day, I will take great solace and great pleasure in saying, Corporal Major, take charge, carry out the plan of the day. And Corporal Major will know exactly what the fuck that means in my mindset, because I've got his back, he's got my back, and if anybody tries to touch him, I'm going to put fucking rounds in you the way I was trained to do from very fucking far away. You don't understand. I'm past the point of talking, Frank. I am not sitting here watching my brother in a jail.
CJ, you won't be far away. You just said that you're going to be front row center with the speaker.
If I end up next to Cass Jackson in the Logan County, Arkansas jail, it's because I didn't shoot enough tyrants and they captured me. And if you see me peacefully going with any tyrant, I want you to shoot me in disgrace.
Agreed. So basically what we're trying to do is be sympathetic and trying to attract as many people to the cause as possible. But the end result is we physically want to murder these people in cold blood for what they've done. And they're guilty, and they're insulated by people who have no morals and no conviction and are monetized. And I have no problem with killing them too, even though I don't want to, because they're not the same type of... Like, I don't believe it's right to injure somebody who doesn't know what they're doing is wrong. Like, that's not who I am. These people we're going after know what they're doing is wrong, and they're insulating themselves, injuring people to use them as insulation. So they're using these people and putting them in predicaments that they shouldn't be in to insulate a tyrant.
To your point, Corporal, to your point, Deputy, low-ranking private on the police force scale that just graduated boot camp. If you deny me my right to indict these motherfuckers, all these people are going to have a problem with it. You could end up a casualty if you do not respect my right. And if you try to touch me, you're going to be on somebody's memorial somewhere. And unfortunately, this is the way we have to speak now to these motherfuckers, is that if you try to touch us...
We're going to reclaim our own violence that was taught to us by the state, and what we were taught as our civic duty and our oath. We're going to reclaim that in our own understanding, in our own position, in our own right, in our own individuality, and we're going to execute what we were charged to do, which is I swore an oath to the Constitution, which is for the people, and the executive officer, which is supposed to work for the people. They are no longer doing that. It's my duty to eliminate these people by any means
Those
necessary.
Words, the oath of office that many individuals have taken, the vocabulary needs to be used against them the same way that it's been used against us when the narrative has been painted falsely. They need to be made aware. Due process. We don't necessarily have to be judge and executioner here. I'm all for holding individuals. I'm speaking. Do not interrupt me right now. I am all for holding people accountable.
You interrupt me all the time, for the record, Frank.
Well, CJ, I do apologize. I'm just passionate like you. However,
right. Understandable.
However, I don't necessarily have good faith in the judicial system whatsoever, as there's been clear and proven affinities through corporation ties with many of these actors. Okay? However, these violations of oath that they have done and harmed people and turned good people into victims is not okay. We are fighting against that for the most part. Moving forward, I still firmly position myself that due process is a way of the judicial system of the United States. We drop what we have on these people and hold them accountable in a court of law as Plan A. It's done in such a way that it does not incite violence.
All right, Frank, I see what you're saying. I'd like to ask you who said this. Of all the dispositions and habits which lead to political prosperity, religion and morality are indispensable supports. In vain would that man claim to tribute of patriotism who should labor to subvert these great pillars of human happiness, these firmest props of the duties of men and citizens. The mere politician, equally with the poignest man, ought to respect and cherish them. Let it simply be asked, where is the security for property, for reputation, for life, if the sense of moral and religious obligation deserts the oaths of which are the instruments of investigation in courts of justice?
That's a wonderful question. I don't know exactly who said that. I would think it would be Thomas Jefferson.
You're in the right ballpark.
Okay.
You're in the right ballpark. That'd be George Washington. The constitutional oath that every veteran takes is, in the mind of the first president of the United States as we know it, is that the oath is of the citizen to protect the Constitution, and that there is no greater way to uphold the oath you take to the Constitution than to investigate courts of justice.
There we go, and that's what we're doing, bud.
Even with George Washington shared your sentiments in his farewell address that the courts of justice are what the oath is the instrument into investigations for. So,
and on that note, that's the fourth branch of government as we the people.
There's only three branches of government: the executive. Again, there's only three branches of government.
I'm aware of this.
The executive and the judicial branch have merged together for a long time, and it's been embedded together for a long time.
Correct.
There are only two branches of government right now.
Yes, and what are we doing? We are seeking redress through investigative work to demonstrate...
The executive branch in each state has bought the judicial branch through the Bar Association.
There you go.
An indictment, when they hold all the keys to all the cells and all the doors, an indictment means nothing without force. We need physically violent force and people who understand what the score is. So these tyrants are scared shitless that some random fucking round from somewhere is going to hit them in the head while they're at a fucking press rally or something.
So they better not fucking do anything stupid because... we've got guardian angels, and you don't know where they're at.
Now, Cash has specifically said that this is moving forward. That let's roll with this. Let's do this.
I'm the acting president. I'm the guy that he has tasked and delegated his presidential authority in this network to make the bigger decisions that need to be made. And I'm telling you, what I'm representing is Cash Jackson's last bit of humanity. And I promise you that inside the sentiments between myself and Corporal Major and how we feel, Cash shares those sentiments, and he is of a victim because guess what? Cash was vulnerable. We know this. He was by himself at home, and they enacted their little plan because they knew when he was going to be by himself. And guess what? They have done what they've done to Cash because he was singled out and alone. We know this,
CJ,
so therefore
when you guys,
but they had to marginalize.
When you guys roll down to DC together,
correct,
and when I roll down to DC,
correct,
these guys are well trained at this point in dealing with a mob mentality. They've had years of years of training, etc. And
here
we are. Yes, here we are. We do have some skill sets, but you know what? I've never even met you guys. So how are we supposed to have some form of camaraderie and read each other's body language and eye contact to comprehend?
Here's my body language. I shot everybody that was wearing a uniform. Is that hard to read?
Well, we're talking if.
Anybody with a uniform's the enemy. We control the area unless there's somebody wearing a uniform. Is that hard body language to read, Frank?
Well, you know what? It'll work for a time and a place, but if this were to go...
Which side of the line are you on?
If you see a veteran wearing his dress uniform from whatever service, he's on your side already.
The side of the line I'm on?
Is that hard body language to understand? If you see somebody in a uniform shooting somebody in a greater uniform from military service, if you see somebody in a piddly little uniform like one of their black suits,
so here's my line. I'm going to be very clear with you guys right now.
Wearing a greater uniform with better decorations. That's pretty good body signal. Like you don't need extra like dialogue to reinforce what you see happening and what you know needs to happen there.
Yeah, it's kind of like you were trained to identify it ahead of time, so you were prepared when it does go happen. Like when it's go time, you already know
I believe wearing the uniform for us is going to insulate us from them just shooting us.
Correct.
Us streaming that and having multiple forms of recording, in case that does happen, is going to fucking be the shot heard around the world. And no fucking law enforcement will ever be able to roll a marked car or wear a uniform.
It's only the shot heard around the world as if anybody hears it. If it's contained...
You know, Frank, are you of the mindset? Are you telling me that if they executed a veteran in full medals in a rally, that
would do nothing?
CJ, you really believe that Air Force lady was shot inside the Capitol and died, or do you think that was Hollywood? I'm pretty sure that was Hollywood, and that was the shot that ended a revolution. It took one bullet and some body paint, in my mind, to end the revolution.
Let my children know I was at the front line of the war against the government. Absolutely.
I volunteer to go first.
Well, you're going to have to fight me for that. I mean, if they execute me, you know it's go time. So, I mean...
I know I'm not letting them take me away from my home, so I maintain a fucking Armalite fucking that I sleep with in case they decide to kick my fucking door in the middle of the night like thieves and then treat me like they did Cash. I know just good enough. Screw all the other experience I have with the justice system in my life. Just from witnessing what they did to Cash, I have enough of a mind to know never to give them custody of my physical fucking body. So send your fucking expendable jackboots. Maybe the fourth or fifth one will fucking apprehend my dead body. Because I'm going to be laying in a pile of spent brass. And hopefully your crossfire didn't kill my significant other and my child. Because we already know you evil fucking creeps don't give a fuck about women and children either.
Right, so, you know, and you've trained your significant other to defend herself.
Yeah, she's going to pick it up and keep returning fire the second she sees what happens to me, so I hope you like executing both of us.
And again, keep in mind that the moment you came onto the property, we used our secure device to stream into our...
I'm not waiting until they knock on the door either, so if you think that the door is there to protect me from you, the door was there to protect fucking you from me. And don't think that I'm not going to start before you reach my door, because I have windows in front of my house and a very short deck. So if you come up on my deck with the intention to kick my fucking door, just know that I can put you off that deck with what I got in my fucking hand already the second I heard you fucking step on my fucking porch. The second your foot came in contact with that first fucking step up to my porch, I am now holding a fucking rifle fully loaded and the fucking selector switch is on fire. It's a direct fucking shot to my front windows, which line up to my door. So there's no insulation. You have no cover while you're stacked up next to my door. You're completely exposed.
And they'll get there quick.
Good luck. I'm not gonna apologize ever. I've done nothing.
It's called a fatal funnel, Corporal. And when you look at my door,
I've done nothing to fucking to get. No criminal act. I'm not a criminal to get people to come like mercenaries or SWAT to my house to do that. So if this is enough to offend them to do that, just know you're a tyrant cuck. You insulate tyrant cucks. When you die for all eternity, you'll have died a tyrant cuck, and you'll have to live with that for all eternity. But I won't, so I don't care about you.
I will see you on the streets of heaven, Corporal, where the gates are guarded by United States Marines.
getting in.
Boom.
Recycled back. Have fun fucking being vaccinated in the fucking general hospital for the next parents that you have as your soul is kicked back down to this shithole that you built for everybody. And I will stay there. Even if I was afforded the capacity to have a pleasant afterlife, or if I was afforded to be recycled and have a great life again, I would choose against that just to stand at the gate and fucking throw you faggots back down the fucking goddamn chute.
I salute your dedication, Corporal Major.
All you guys all have to curse and threaten death in order to make your point. Like, I can't do that. Like, you couldn't do that. That's the weakest form.
Just for the record, I will make sure that on your memorial it says, this man went first. I'll just say Corporal Major went first.
Cash didn't approve.
No. It appears that way.
Don't worry. It'll be accurately depicted. I've got your back.
Doesn't matter how many of these fuckers die. They're going to kill everyone that goes. And then,
again, I think that there comes a time in every person's life where they get to make a choice.
And I don't know what comes after. All I know is what they're doing here ain't right.
It's the same thing what happened to the whole initial Black Panther Party.
To our point is that I'm not going to spend my 2022.
So actually, hang on. This is important right here. So today is the 5th, right? Tomorrow's the 6th, which is a 1-year anniversary. Do we have anybody in D.C. with eyes on right now, seeing what's going on?
That would be, I would ask whether or not we even have a Region 2 commander, or a Region...
a controlled opposition rally?
Yes.
Controlled opposition rally for anti-vax through Children's Defense Fund, which is a globalist, is Robert Kennedy Jr.'s globalist controlled opposition front, pretending like he's the bastion of all that is anti-vax and the fight of the tip of the spear in the fight against the government's vaccine mandates and eugenics programs, when in actuality Kennedy Space Center, the globe on his logo and everything that you could possibly brand into that to let him his own people
know,
hey, don't take shots at me, this is all controlled opposition. See the globe in my logo? I'm one of you guys. Please don't fucking take me out in one of these rallies. Every time you see him out publicly speaking, he's wearing a bulletproof vest at all the rallies. Why? Why would you wear a bulletproof vest? Which one are you afraid that's going to take you out? The people? Which one?
Well, as I said, my job and duty right now to the VLN is to make sure that nobody gets hurt. Let me rephrase that. That my duty is to us to be safe, to be wise, intelligent, not to incite violence, and be efficient in holding these tyrants, these public officials accountable for the violations of oath, malfeasance, misfeasance, and color of law violations.
Like, I love the idea that you guys are going to cover all your bases with the court process, but I'm physically only here to incite violence. We need to conduct massive waves of violence with people that we know are trustworthy to commit violence, to commit violent acts. And that's what veterans are, specifically Marine Corps and Army veterans the most. And then the other service can be support to us. They know how to shoot straight too. We commit egregious and completely...
So how are we supposed to unify... So Jay, tell me how we're supposed to unify all these other groups that have been harmed. How are we supposed to unify all these other communities, these other groups throughout history that have been harmed in the same way that we have been harmed? How is that?
Because we intend to enact the violence that they didn't enact, that didn't get them anywhere. So when they weren't violent in retaliation and they got nothing and they've just been stuck into their little corner wherever they got marginalized into, we intend to enact the violence that they decided not to enact because they were rational thinking or not wanting to hurt other individuals. I can give a fuck about hurting other individuals. I want to kill.
The people you're wanting to hurt and kill have hurt young people. Again,
structuring against
Corporal,
I want to kill them. I don't want anything to be in the way of me killing them. Like, you guys can do all your legal stuff. Just tell me when it's time to show up with the leather gloves and the piano wire. Because Dick Cheney, Donald Rumsfeld, these motherfuckers I want to do myself.
Okay.
And again, Corporal Major,
get it?
Am I right to say that you want those that are guilty of treason and sedition to be put to death for the crimes they've committed?
No. I want their crimes to be explained to them so they understand why they're indicted and how they're found guilty with the evidence hearing process before I personally physically end their life with my bare hands, not with any weapon or injection or a rope or anything. Literally choke that motherfucker to death and watch the fucking life fade out of his eye after it's been read to him why that's happening to him. It doesn't matter what his statement of what happened. Oh, I don't care. I'm simply here to kill you. I don't have a lot of time. Okay? Read his fucking charges. Read the evidence. Scribes here, do you have any last words? You don't. It's too fucking late now. I don't care if you're trying to talk. You had the chance for last words. All you tyrants try to fuck the process and make it your own little thing. But now, it's fading. It's fucking fading. That was good. That one's good.
All right, listen. I gotta get off. I gotta digest some of this.
All right, Frank. Memorial wall. We're gonna have a tyrant memorial wall for the mass grave we pushed them all into.
I hope you have a clearer understanding as to where our sentiments are at this point, Frank.
Yeah, I think we need to communicate a little more clear.
One day, I would commandeer the Marine Corps. I would call fucking Congress into session. I would seal off the Congressional Hall with Marines, and I would kill every single person in there with my bare hands. And the people who were on our side would be obvious it was our people. Those would be the only ones left after I choked every other motherfucker to death with my bare hands. It would be a long day.
These fucking
but there ain't one fighting fucking
this is
shit
horrible.
motherfucker. All those people supposed to represent the fighting nature.
These are
of
like
the
my
American public.
patients.
Not one fighter in that.
No joke.
I believe it.
But they've actually committed crimes. These pussies just talking shit in circles. They're gonna get shot before a bullet comes out of their fucking gun.
They're not even gonna make it there. They're gonna get scooped up.
Yeah, but they're gonna get shot before they even raise. As soon as they touch their gun. And you see the Black Panthers march. I'll show you some videos. They don't touch their gun. They don't move before they finish.
That's right.
Now they may walk with AKs. People may say, "Oh, that's so wrong." No, they're walking in uniform.
I'm gonna. You want to stay on, or I'm okay with dipping off.
536 there, Corporal.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later. I gotta run. All right.
All right, Frank.
CJ, thank you. Hamilton.